Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Loving Your Life with Mama D. And of course, I'm Glenda Davis, aka Mama D. And today is Glow Wednesday. Today's episode is going to be about teenagers, raising teenagers, or dealing with teenagers, your relationship with teenagers, and how it can affect your health. Okay? How many of you have teenagers in your life? Whether they're your children or your grandchildren or a niece or nephew, or even at school, at church, on the workforce, it can be anywhere because teens are everywhere. We were teens one day, and now here we are, adults. Today, we're going to get into those 5 points with helping with raising or dealing with teens. Okay? If you're interested in that content, stick with me because we're about to get started. Teenagers. What is a teenager? A teenager is an individual between the ages 13 and 19. During this time in life, they are growing, they're developing, they're trying to figure themselves out, they're trying to master life. They may even seem to think they know everything when they know very little about life. And some of them are extremely mature and know a whole lot about life because most of it they learn from experience or from other people in their environment or their community. This is a time when they experience their social changes within their body. They begin to really develop, sometimes even overdevelop. So they have a lot that they're contending with, especially during this day and time that we're living in. Teenagers have a lot, and I mean a lot, on their plate because the world is so much different now than it was when you and I were teenagers. So I'm going to give you today 5 pointers. We have been dealing with relationships for the past, well, this will be the third week. So I'm going to give you 5 pointers on things that I feel will help you with your relationship with teens so that it will not be detrimental to your health. Okay. There's always that saying, do as I say and not as I do. Or I pay the bills here. When you old enough to pay the bills, then you can make some decisions. Or, um, it's a lot of stuff that we were told. Those little slogans and jargons and things that we used to be told, and we probably now say to our kids. And some of the stuff was kind of mean, but some of the things were said, I guess, to keep us in line. But one of the things about telling a child to do as I say is and not as I do is teaching them that your way is different or your standards are different from what their standards should be. We should teach a child by and show them by example, not just saying what you need to do this and you ought to do that, but be an example. Show them by example. What you do is going to have a major effect on what they do because things are passed down from generation to generation. If you continue to discipline your child the way your mom disciplined you, and the way her mom or his mom disciplined them, and their mom disciplined them, then we'll go all the way back to slavery times. Yep, when we were tied up, beat, and everything else. So by the time a child reaches their teen days, most of their discipline and learning should already kind of be inset within them. Because the first year of a child's life, they're understanding love. They understand the sounds that they hear. They understand affection by the time they're 1 years old. By the time the child is 2 and starts to experiment, it depends on how far you let them go, will determine how much they know and understand. It's just like a child when he starts to crawl and he reaches up to touch the stove and you say, no, 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 hot, hot. And they understand like, no, no, no. But okay, there's a alarm here. But it's not until they touch and experience the sensation of hot. You can say hot, hot, hot until they touch it. Now their brain connects to the fingertips. That's hot. So the next time, and I'm not implying that you should let your child get burned. I'm just saying sometimes this is how kids learn. It's by experience. So we had to set up the house and everything so that as a little child, they will understand. And this is almost getting back into my last week's message to you. But, I was told by my kid's doctor when my boys were little, this was years ago, he said, get down on the floor. And because if you get on the floor and look around, that's their world. Their world is not up here looking out of the windows. Their world is on the floor. So you wonder why they pick up stuff and put it in their mouths or touch the electrical sockets and things, because they're curious, and those are the things on the floor that they see. And that's the closest thing they can get to. So that's why they do it. So it depends on what kind of environment that child was reared in and how you spoke to them or disciplined them when they were little is going to have an effect on how they are as a teen. Because once they're teenagers, they're more or less starting to get out of the house. They're starting to develop new friends. Their body's changing, their minds changing, their emotions are changing, and they're starting to figure out some things for themselves, like the Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy thing. They're figuring that stuff out. Okay, so it is what it is. So back to that theory of do as I say, not as I do. That doesn't work. So always remember to show and teach your child by example. In other words, if you don't want your child cussing, then stop cussing. Okay? So the next point is listening. Listening and validating their feelings. So when they come to tell you something that happened, or someone who may have hurt them, or something that happened in school, or they come in the house and you can tell when they're angry, they had a bad day at school, validate that. Hey, what's going on? It looks like you're having a bad day, or you may not feel so good today. And hear them out. And they may, from the start, they may say, I don't know, I don't want to talk about it. I'm fine. But just wait, give them time. Just like we need time sometimes to process things. Let them have some time alone in their room or whatever, go in the bathroom, get their shower, change their clothes or whatever. Give them time. And if you have that kind of relationship, eventually they will talk to you. But you can't just beat it out of them or pull it out of them or browbeat them. You're going to talk to me. You're going to tell me what's wrong. Sometimes that's a mistake that we make. But if we develop that relationship with them, then I believe they will come around. Okay. The next thing, let me say one more thing about listening. When we listen to our children, they talk a different language. A lot of times they talk a different language. I am still kind of trying to figure out this new language. I am so trying to figure it out. But as you go and as you listen, and you can sometimes understand their words and their expressions, the tone, the demeanor, all those things that they project is part of your listening and what you should listen to. Does that make sense? In other words, not only do you listen with your ears, but listen to their body language, the emotions, whether or not their eyebrows are down, or they got the wrinkles in the forehead, or their mouth is turned down, or they're breathing hard, or are they sweating, or just, feel antsy. It's all part of the listening. You listen to the whole thing. And then you'll have a better idea of how the child is experiencing the experience at that time, and you'll be more equipped to help them. There's this thing nowadays about whether or not you should be a parent or a friend. Okay, parenting is not friendship, although friendship is inside of parenting. We should be friendly with our children. We should have fun with our kids, but we have to always remember that we are the parent, and the child has to understand there's a difference from my parent and my friend. It's the way I talk to my parent, and there's a way I talk to my friend. There's some things I do, with my parents, some things I do with my friend. So it's not the same. We're not equal. Parenting and friends are not equal. We're not equal, because that friend is going to be there when they want to be there, or they may that your child might need that friend at some crucial point, and they are in California or down in Texas or New York somewhere on their family vacation. But you, as a parent, you're there with your child. You're with them pretty much all the time. When there's a crisis, you're there. When there's death in the family, you're there. When it's the teachers calling from school, they're calling you. They're not calling their friend, they're calling you. When that child is sick in the hospital, the doctor's not calling, communicating with their friend, they're calling you, the parent. So we have to make a difference between and know the difference between parenting and friendship. Because as a parent, you have to make some crucial uh, decisions, and many times they're life changing. There are life changing situations that you're going to deal with your child. You know, uh, it's even when it's time to let go, as far as letting them drive. The first time they take that car out, you don't know if they're going to go get their friend or not. But you, as a parent, you're going to be responsible when that insurance, the car, their life, someone else's life, it's a lot to it. So always make sure that you and your child both understand there is a difference between parenting and friendship, because parenting is a lifetime, it's a commitment. That's your child for life. Friends come and go, but you don't. You always remain. You're always in your child's life. Okay? All right. That is if you maintain a good relationship. All right. The next thing I think that we have to pay attention to with our teenagers is whether or not they're having a mood swing, a mood change, or if it's their true feelings. If it's a feeling or a mood. And what is the difference between a feeling and a mood? Okay, a mood is just a temporary place that you get into in your mind. So you may be in a good mood in the morning and a bad mood in the evening. Well, isn't that the same as feelings? No. When a child begins to deal with their feelings, it's really about how they feel about a situation, how they feel about a person, and those feelings are long lasting. You can feel some way about a person all of your life. um, Maybe you might have had a bad experience, and maybe you might hate a person, or you may hate an environment, or you may just hate a scent, or you just are agitated when you're around certain people, or the way you feel about school, or the way you feel about science. But the mood is more of, you know, uh, mm, I ain't feeling it today. I don't want to do this today. I'm tired. You know, I'm bored, and those type things. Okay, so sometimes when your kid is just in a mood, it doesn't mean it's their actual feelings, because the mood comes and go, but the feelings outlast the mood. Okay, so what does that mean in parenting? We have to understand that when that child gets in their mood and they're moody, just know it's not going to last always. It's just temporary. Something triggered that mood. There's a reason. Either maybe they didn't get enough sleep. Maybe they was been eating junk food all day and it's got their hormones all riled up. Or maybe someone said something that hurt their feelings at that particular time. So understanding your child, understanding their emotions, understanding their mood swings and how often they have them is really something you as a parent have to key into. Now, sometimes it's necessary for a child to see a therapist. if they can't seem to get out of certain feelings, or if their mood swings become too deep, sometimes they need medical attention. They need to maybe talk to a therapist to find out what is the root of the problem. Sometimes you can just talk to them and just, to kind of work things out. You can just do it at home, if that is the kind of relationship that you have developed with your child. So we have to understand that kids are human. They have feelings, they have emotions, they have moods. And we as parents, it is necessary for us to dig in and understand, and at least try to understand what your child is feeling and their emotions at that particular time. Okay? Just know that trouble, it don't last always. So the last point I want to give you today, and this is pertaining to your health and your team, okay? It's stress. That's right. We need to talk about stress for just a few moments. We sometimes stress ourselves out with our teenagers. And I'm going to give you one that was stressing me for a minute, but I said, I don't understand why teenagers today will put on a hoodie, the hood and all, long sleeve, fleece, sweatsuit, sweatshirt kind of stuff, hoodie, and wear in the dead of the summer, 98 degrees in the shade, and they got on a hoodie, and guess what? And some shorts, and some Crocs, or some gym shoes, or some flip-flops. Somebody explain to me. But for me and my stress, I'm like, girl, if you want to wear that hoodie, if you can survive in that hoodie, if you feel like you ain't gonna pass out, go ahead. Wear your hoodie. Put on your hoodie, okay? Because I can't stress about that. I got to be comfortable. Woo! I don't even like hair on my neck. I get hot looking at these kids nowadays wearing these hoodies, but that's their style. That's their style, okay? I probably used to stress my mama out when I would go out in them hot pants and those one, what they call the scooter skirt. Honey, yeah, we wore the scooter skirt, the tube tops, and all that stuff, honey. And I just, that's what we did in our day. So don't stress out over their fashions. Don't stress out over, what they repeatedly wear over and over and over again, because their style is not our style. And, even when it comes to going to church, honey, back in the day, we had school clothes, play clothes, and church clothes, and everybody knew the difference. But now, kids go to church, and everybody for that matter, it's more relaxed. It's just not as relaxed. But there's some people still walking around, got them hats tilted to the side and them beads and pearls and all that. I don't really wear suits like that. I don't do that no more myself. Okay. So let's not be stressed with the kids. And when they have those mood changes, and when they seem like they're really agitated and aggravated, don't take it personal. Don't take that thing personal. They just going through something. Sometimes, as I said before, let them come in. Let them unwind. Let them get them something to eat. Let them chill out. If they just need to be in a room, get your work done. As long as you have your work done by 8 or 9 o'clock or whatever. You're going to have some battles, but you got to choose the battles that you want to fight and the ones that are just not that important. Some battles are just this big. Let them stay that big. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill, okay? If it's small, let it be small. Although we know some things that are small can grow, but you got to keep your eye on it. But don't let it stress you out. Don't let it stress you out. Because if you start to yelling and screaming and your blood pressure shot up out the water and you can't breathe, you're taking years off your life. And they gonna go on and live their full life. And you're going to be somewhere on the side of the road, okay? Keep yourself young, vital, and healthy, and don't stress out over your teenager. They're just going through just like you did, consider yourself when you were their age, when you were 14, 15, 16. What did you want to do? What made you happy? What made you sad? And sometimes we get a little stressed out because we know what we did when we were that age. Okay. So, all right. So, yeah, some of us climbed out the window, snuck out, and did all that. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Don't act like you didn't. Tell the truth about it. Okay. So just love on your kids. The main thing is love them. Love covers a multitude of faults. Love always wins. Love always wins. Okay. My pastor, I heard him say one day, we have a theme at our church that says love lives here. And I heard him say one day, he said, and take some of it home with you. I love it. Love lives here at the church. But while you got your sanctified self at church, loving everybody at church, make sure you take some home with you and love the people at home. Love your, oh my God, that's powerful. That's good. Love yourself, love your family, and love God. Okay? Hey, listen, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Share it with your friends. Leave me a comment. Tell me about some of the things that you use to help raise your teenage children. Tell me about those hoodies. Do your kids wear them hoodies too? I will see you in the next video. Love you all. Have a great day. Okay? Bye-bye.